is salaf. So salaf, there are two definitions. Definition in the Arabic language and definition in Islam. Definition in the Arabic language, it refers to people who came before you. All those who came before you is your salaf. Correct or not? Because the Arabic word salafa meaning something that have passed. Salafa. And this word is present in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned mimma salaf, those who has passed. Incidents that have passed. The opposite of salaf is khalaf. Khalaf is things that comes after. So you have salaf and you have khalaf. In the Arabic language, this is the meaning. But in knowledge of Tawheed, when you find any particular scholar, you can sit in front. It's okay. In the knowledge of Tawheed, if you find any scholar mention the word salaf in the knowledge of Tawheed, and it refers to the scholars, ulama, not ordinary people. Scholars who were present during the first 300 years of Hijrah. Why 300 years of Hijrah? There are some differences amongst our scholars, whether it's 300 years or 500 years and so on. It is based on the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Our Prophet mentioned, "Khayrul quruni qarni." The best of ages is my age. Summa alladhina yalunahum, summa alladhina yalunahum. And then the second age, and then the third age. So the ulama they mention that the age of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first 100 years in the coming of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after the migration, after Hijrah. And then you have the second 100 years. And then you have the third 100 years. So altogether 300 years. And if you look in history, you will find that most of the scholars, most of the mujtahideen, big scholars, who until today we follow their judgment, they were present during his time. Al-Imam Shafi'i, he was born in the year 150 Hijriya. And he passed away in the year 205 Hijriya. Also, you will find Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, he came before Imam Shafi. Imam Malik, he came before Imam Shafi. Imam Ahmad is slightly after Imam Shafi. Al-Imam Abu Hassan, he was born in the year 260 Hijriya, within this particular time, the first 300 years of Hijrah. But the problem some people are saying today is that since he was born in the year 260 Hijriya, so what about the scholars who came before him? The Salaf. The scholars like Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, Al-Imam Shafi'i, Al-Imam Ahmad, they came before Al-Imam Abu Hassan. So if you say that Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah are those who condone or those who follow the compilation of Al-Imam Abu Hassan al-Ash'ari, what about the scholars who came before Al-Imam Abu Hassan? So what is the answer? Again, this is the thing that I mentioned earlier. Al-Imam Abu Hassan is a compiler of Tawheed. Compiler of Tawheed. We are not saying that Al-Imam Abu Hassan is bringing something new. There's no such thing as new things. But basically he is compiling the knowledge of Tawheed based on the understanding and based on the knowledge of those before him. So by following him, you are following the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and those who came after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just like today, if you follow the Mazhab Imam Shafi'i, if you follow the opinions of Imam Shafi'i, are we saying that you are following something which is against the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Na'uz billah min dhalik. By following Imam Shafi'i, you are following the Quran and the Sunnah. Imam Shafi'i doesn't bring something new. All his opinions are based on the Quran and the Sunnah. So he is a person who explained the Quran and the Sunnah. He is a person who compiled fiqh based on his understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah. And he is a person who is a great imam who possesses any knowledge, strong knowledge in this particular field. And those scholars who came after him followed his opinion, and they were known as Ash-Shafi'i. So today in the knowledge of Tawheed, it is the same thing. Today when we learn the knowledge of Tawheed, we say that the compiler of Tawheed is Al-Imam Abu Hassan al-Ash'ari, the one who compiled the Tawheed. So today when we learn Tawheed, we are learning his books based on his compilations. This book Al-Khareedah Al-Bahiyya is basically a summary of the Aqidah of the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And Aqidah of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah in the books of Tawheed, it refers to Al-Asha'ira. Al-Asha'ira, as I mentioned, yani it is the compilation of Al-Imam Abul Hasan al-Ash'ari, and also Al-Maturidiyya, which is a compilation of Al-Imam Abu Mansur al-Maturidi. Two big imams. So when you come across books of Tawheed that say Qala Ahlu Sunnah wal Jama'ah, or they say Hada i'tiqadu Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, this is the belief of the Ahlu Sunnah wal Jama'ah, yani it goes back to these two madhab, the madhab al-Asha'ira and the madhab al-Maturidiyya. Al-Maturidiyya, it is by a person who was called Abu Mansur, and he was present within the time of Imam Abul Hasan, about the same time of Imam Abul Hasan al-Ash'ari. There are no differences between Al-Asha'ira and Maturidiyya. There are no differences except in 13 cases, 1-3. And these differences are basically differences in the branches and not differences in the usul. Not what you call it differences in the principles. Inshallah, if you have time, we can talk about some of these differences, but it is not important now. But basically, the madhab al-Asha'ira is the same as madhab al-Maturidiyya. This is the thing that we have to understand. So when our scholars mention about al-Asha'ira and Maturidiyya, they only concentrate on the small differences. That's all. If you know these differences, then khalas, everything is the same. The rest is the same. طيب. Al-Imam al-Maturidi, his name is Muhammad bin Muhammad, and he passed away in the year 333 Hijriya. Whereas Al-Imam Abul Hasan al-Ash'ari, he passed away in the year 324 Hijriya. Al-Imam Abul Hasan al-Ash'ari passed away in Baghdad. Baghdad is the capital of Iraq. So he was born in the year 260 Hijriya, he passed away 324 Hijriya. Slightly 10 years after the passing away of Imam Abul Hasan al-Ash'ari, Al-Imam Maturidi passed away, and he was in Khurasan, after Iraq. And they never met. Despite they live within the same age. But Imam Abu Hasan never met Al-Imam al-Maturidi. Nowadays there are no aeroplanes like today. You want to travel from one place to another place, and it takes months. So it is common last time that you will find that scholars they do not meet, most of them. The scholars of Iraq do not meet the scholars of Sham, rarely. Because of their situations last time. Despite they living within the same age. But today is different. Today a person can meet a person who lives in the West within a few hours. No, what you call it, no issue. And today with all this technology that we have, we can do Skype meeting and so on, you can speak to someone who is across the continent. Something which is made easy by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But last time it is different. But the students of Al-Imam Abul Hasan al-Ash'ari met the students of Imam Abu Mansur al-Maturidi. So when they meet, they discuss about Aqidah, and they found out that it is the same. That what is compiled by Al-Imam Abul Hasan is the same as what is compiled by Al-Imam Abu Mansur al-Maturidi. So the scholars who came after these two big imams, they were either Al-Asha'ira and Maturidiyya, and they are within the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. They are either Al-Asha'ira or Maturidiyya. The scholars within the Mazhab Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad and Imam Malik, most of them are Al-Asha'ira. Most of them. And all the scholars of the Maliki Madhab are Asha'ira. All the scholars on Maliki Madhab Al-Asha'ira. The scholars within our Madhab Imam Shafi'i, some of them are Asha'ira, some of them are Maturidiyya. The scholars within the Mazhab Imam Abu Hanifa, the Hanafites, most of them are Maturidiyah. Most of them are Maturidiyah. The Hanbalites, most of them are Ash'ariyah. And the rest of them, they fall into Al-Mujassima, Tajsim. This is what is mentioned by Al-Imam Subuki in his book Tabaqat Shafi'iyat Al-Kubra. Inshallah, when we come into the chapter of Tajsim, inshallah, I will mention a bit about this. So the scholars who came after these two big imams, they were either Ash'ariyah or Maturidiyah until today. Today, when we talk about Aqidah of Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we are talking about the Aqidah of Ash'ariyah and Maturidiyah. So the scholars who came after Al-Imam Abu Hasan, they wrote books and they simplify the books of Al-Imam Abu Hasan al-Ash'ari, and they summarize the books of Al-Imam Abu Hasan al-Ash'ari, just like what we have today. Khareedah al-Bahiyya, it is a, what you call it, summary of the Aqidah of Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah based on the Mazhab of Al-Ash'ariyah. So we have many books written in Tawheed. Some of the books are summaries, some of the books are wrote with volumes and explanation, and so on and so forth. So one of the most famous imams that came after Al-Imam Abu Hasan is Al-Imam Al-Ghazali. Al-Imam Al-Ghazali is not only an imam in Tasawwuf. Most people, when they hear the word Al-Ghazali or Imam Al-Ghazali, they understood that Al-Imam Al-Ghazali is a Sufi. A person who is close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or a person who dedicates his life to Islam and so on and so forth. And he was famous for his book Bidayatul Hidayah, especially in our country, Singapore. When you talk about Imam Ghazali, straight away Bidayatul Hidayah. And also in his book Ihya Ulumuddin. Ihya Ulumuddin is an amazing book. But at the same time also we must understand that Imam Ghazali is an imam in Aqidah, imam in Tawheed.